right, Matt Gibbs is in the studio. This is Auto Repair with Personal Care. That's the name of the show. The name of the garage that Matt owns and operates out of is called Sunrise Automotive. And the car dealership, which is about 40 feet in front of it, I guess, right up against the curb, is called Crossroad Auto Sales. And I am a customer of all of the above. Good morning, Matt. How you doing?
Good, Larry. How are you?
Good. And we encourage you as listeners to call in if you have a question about your car. The number is, as always, 622-9622. So I have a car question. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right. In America, we seem to put something special about the foreign car. Everybody seems to, I got a foreign car, right? Right? We do that a lot. Foreign wine, foreign cars, right?
Yes.
All right. Do they do the same thing? Like in Europe, do they say, I got a foreign car and it comes from Detroit?
I don't know. I haven't been to Europe. I haven't been to Europe and talked to them.
I mean, you would think that our cars, in general, do we do a good job putting cars out into the world? You always hear everybody making fun of our cars, though. Everybody always says the BMW is great. Right? The Mercedes is great. Oh, you don't like that one either. So, okay, but so you as a car guy, you would really know. I don't know what's good and what's not good.
I do know this. So the cars, like the cars in Europe, that the Chevrolet, the American cars that are made and sent to like Europe and stuff, they're different than they are here in the States.
In what way?
Like a lot of them are diesels.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Plus, diesels, they put the steering wheel on the wrong side, don't they?
Yeah, and
I'm teasing.
But a lot of them are diesels, and the reason that they're diesels is fuel economy, because gas costs so much, especially over like in England and stuff. There's such a huge tax. It's
okay.
ridiculous.
So, and part of this question comes from chocolate. Robin's son went to Europe.
Yeah.
And he had always heard that European chocolate was the best chocolate. He said, Hershey's is really the best. He really said Hershey's was the best. In his opinion, it was the best. And I'm having a hard time believing anything's better than Hershey's also. And so if I'm driving an American-made car, a Ford, what is mine? Mine's a Buick. Is that American?
Of course it's American.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know what's what. So it's a nice car. It gets me where I need to go, and it keeps me cool because the air conditioner works still. Thank you. So our cars aren't. Do you know what I mean? Like we put a certain stigma, a good stigma, like prestige on foreign things.
Right.
Why do we do that?
I don't know. I don't know why we do it. But then there's a lot. I deal with a lot of people that won't buy foreign, that will not have. Not just a European car, but even a Japanese car. They won't.
Because of the car or because of the political history?
Because they're patriotic. They want to.
I hear that.
Want to buy American,
Oh, my gosh. I had, what did I have? A Suzuki.
Yeah.
Japanese, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And one of the veterans was very upset with me that I had a Japanese car. And I never even gave it two thoughts.
Yeah.
And maybe I should feel bad about that. Yeah. But now I have a few.
But what about this? Okay, so let me throw this out. And maybe someone can call in and kind of give us their opinion on this. But like Nissan, for instance, my wife's family, my wife has a sister and a niece, and they live in Tennessee. Now, there's a huge plant. There's a huge Nissan. Matter of fact, my brother-in-law works at this Nissan place.
Yeah.
And they're built right here in America.
Right.
But they're still a company owned by Japanese.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? But they employ like a whole town of people. You know what I'm saying? There's thousands and thousands of employees that work for Nissan, that's building Nissan cars here in Tennessee.
You got the phones ringing for sure. So my thought is this: that if you have an issue with the country of origin, even if they are built here, you might not want to buy those cars. Do you know what I mean?
Right. I have cars that I prefer over other cars.
Like, I can't imagine during Nazi Germany why we would buy a Volkswagen.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Wasn't that a Hitler car?
That was a Hitler car. Didn't they call it the German footlocker?
Oh, did they?
Well, that's what I heard.
What the bug or the bus?
The Volkswagen. Call it a German footlocker. That's what I was brought up. And that wasn't like from my parents.
Right.
That was like from other people that had a huge influence in me becoming who I am today.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Now, by Foot Locker,
I have no idea.
you don't know what it meant.
I was too afraid to ask what that meant. I was a young guy. 'Cause all I knew is that Volkswagen is a German Foot Locker. Don't know what that means.
All right, we have some phone calls coming in. Let's take some of these. Good morning. You're on the air with Matt.
Good morning, Matt. I had a neighbor that had a Mercedes-Benz, and it was the smaller one with the four-cylinder engine and everything. And he had a problem with his cooling system. Pop open the hood, and I never seen such a thing in my life. I had a radiator hose that was bifurcated and somewhere in the middle, and also went to the heater. So if the radiator hose is gone, what do you do then? You got to buy this contraption that the Germans engineered someplace else, and it's very expensive radiator hose because it has the thing. It looks like a branch where they're coming out of a tree limb. But they say German engineering. Takes a German engineer to understand what the heck you're supposed to do with the thing if it don't run. So I am no fan of that, and I used to be a Volkswagen nut, but they were a different animal. Four-cylinder air-cooled engine. You didn't have crazy radiator hoses because there was none. But that's my opinion as far as some of the German cars are going. I mean, you look at it and you have to scratch your head. But what the heck were they thinking? Anyway, have a great day.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's interesting, huh?
The guys people that own the Mercedes and the Porsches and the BMWs and stuff, they're really they think a little different than people that own other types of cars, if that makes any sense. I'm not downing them in any kind of way.
Right.
But they're just a different type of people. And the guys that work on it, they think they're just different. They just think different. And it's not a bad thinking different. It's just different. And I give you, for instance, I always give kudos to where kudos to be given. Seth, he owns, my friend Seth, he owns Autobahn. He actually worked for me for a while. We were going to go that way. We were going to go in the direction of the European cars, doing what we do, plus
okay.
adding that as it's something else that we're going to do. And Seth actually owns Autobahn out there on Shady Road, out on 27. So, matter of fact, Philip is on his way today. We brought him a BMW, and because the diagnostic equipment and the tools and the scanners and the computer stuff, that's thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I have spent all this money on the American and Japanese cars, and it's like now this is the way that, like Sonny said, they think differently and they engineer differently, and it's not a bad thing. It's just different, and you have to think differently when you're working on those cars. And so I'd rather get somebody that thinks that way.
That's interesting. Wow.
You know?
And you have another phone call, but real quick question. When we have tools that are metric versus whatever the non-metric is that like non-metric for American cars and metric for foreign cars?
No, because we all, like all the American-made cars, we use metric. They've been using metric stuff for years.
Okay.
So the metric stuff is that I can deal with that. It's just the actual engineering, the way that they accomplish the way that they make a window go up and down is different than the way that we make a window go up and down. It's that crazy.
So when you see both of them, don't you say one is a better idea than the other?
No, one is just a different idea. If you think this way, like we think in the American cars and in the Japanese cars, when it comes to electrical stuff, we think primarily positive. We think power. We think voltage. Okay, and that's where we start. With the Europeans, you think ground, you think negative, you think everything is switched from the negative side, where we switch things from the positive side.
That's interesting.
So
Wow.
they regulate ground circuits. We regulate power circuits. It's a lot more complicated than that. But just that alone makes you think.
That alone makes you
completely
wonder. Yeah.
differently.
Well, a mechanic who doesn't know anything about foreign cars will be lost with a foreign car.
And so Seth calls me on the American cars, the Japanese cars. He calls me. We throw stuff. He throws stuff at me. And when I have the European cars, I throw stuff at him. And I look at it. I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel here. I got a guy that's what he does. And he's good at what he does, and I'm good at what I do, and we utilize each other's strengths.
So, are there 2 systems or 3? Does Asia, Europe, and America, or is it just Asia, Europe? I mean, America and Asia are kind of the same.
Yeah, well, no, American and Japanese, or Asian, you call them Asian, and then the European. Those are pretty much the 3 systems we deal with. Oh,
so there are 3
here. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. All right, you do have a phone call. Good morning. Thank you for calling. You're on the air with Matt.
Yes, morning, guys. My father was a fighter pilot in World War II in the Pacific Theater, and I remember him always saying, "I'll never buy a Japanese car," and that kind of got into my blood. But a few years ago, my wife had a girlfriend who had a Nissan Rogue, and she loved it. Okay, we're going to buy a Japanese car, and I'm going to give you this. And she loves it and everything else. I stuck to my guns, and I went on and bought myself a new Buick. And when I took it in for the first checkup, they noticed some fluid, transmission fluid on the seal, and they had to keep the car. So they quickly rolled me everything else, and a couple of days went by, and I thought, geez, how long is it going to take for them to replace the seal? Well, it turns out a week later, I get the phone call saying, your car will be ready in another couple of days, but we had to send for the part in Brazil where the transmission was made. So doing a little more research, I find out the engine was made in Mexico, the transmission in Brazil, and so on and so forth. So, where are you, It's a crazy world.
Okay.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, the Americans do that, the Japanese do that. We all, like the Volkswagens. We were talking about Volkswagens.
Right.
They're assembled in Mexico.
So they're
one thing I could say though about the foreign cars, like the Japanese cars, they brought the quality of American cars up, because at one point back in the 70s and 80s, or early 80s, the cars coming out of General Motors were crap, and with the pressure of the Japanese cars that were much better, it brought their standards way up.
Actually, it was Datsun. Back in late 70s, early 80s, they sent over the Datsuns, and the Datsuns changed everything as far as fuel economy and stuff like that. Yeah,
so that influenced us in the good way.
In a good way, in a positive way. Yeah.
Hey, thank you, Hugh. Good stuff.
Thank you.
So maybe it's where the buck stops. Like maybe it's not about the quality of the car for some people. Like it sounds like his dad didn't want to obviously buy a Japanese car because he fought the Japanese, right? So that would be his political reasons. But if it's made in Tennessee and it's keeping American workers working and you still don't buy it, it's because the buck stops in Tokyo.
Well, right,
Yeah.
and and everybody has their opinion and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I'm not a huge Nissan fan.
But wasn't the Cadillac once considered the Cadillac of cars? And therefore, if you lived in, let's say, Spain, you would say, "Oh my gosh, I'm driving a Cadillac. It's a foreign import."
Yeah, I mean the Cadillac, and still the Cadillac. The Cadillac still has that.
The Cadillac is still the Cadillac.
It's still a Cadillac. It's a Cadillac. To me, now the Cadillac has done some really cool marketing to where it's not the old guy's car no more. They're really focusing on a younger generation. They're making some really cool looking cars with all the technology and all the and all the bling, but it's still a luxury, nice car.
By the way, I have an idea for you if you ever want to branch into TV. Have you ever seen comedians in cars getting coffee?
No.
Okay, well, it's a Jerry Seinfeld thing, and he always starts off the show with a car. He talks about the car. He talks about the engine, the history of the car, blah, blah, and then he picks up some celebrity, and the two of them talk and we get to know whoever he's interviewing. Well, I thought, what about mechanics in cars getting grits? So like you would get in the car, like you'd be the host.
Okay.
And then you're talking about the car.
Okay.
And then you just stop someplace and get grits.
And get grits.
Yeah.
So let's do that next Tuesday. Let's me and you get in the car. But can we do this on a cell phones?
We could. I wouldn't it be nice with cameras though. I mean, we'd have to have, because they have cameras all over the windshield in those cars.
Huh.
That's how they do it.
Well, let's get Joe to step up to the plate. Let's go live.
But there's a missing element. If
What?
it's me and you,
Okay.
Well, I pointed at me when I said you. If it's me and you,
All right.
yeah, that's how you do it.
Okay.
So I did it backwards. Then I'm not a mechanic.
No, but I'm the mechanic, and you're the celebrity that was going to go riding with me in the car. You're Larry the Giant, man.
Oh man, yeah. Well, I was thinking maybe two mechanics, not like two of you guys.
Oh yeah, I
like
can
you
do
and
that.
like you and Phil.
Phil's not a mechanic either, but
Oh, he's not.
no,
Oh, okay. Well, who's the mechanic over there?
I could get like me and Brian,
You and Brian.
but I'd have to tell Brian he can't cuss on the.
Oh no.
And we won't talk about something that'll make him mad. We don't want to get him mad.
What are his button pushers?
Nah, I'm just teasing.
Oh, okay.
Brian is an awesome technician, dude.
What are
awesome.
What are your button pushers? What pushes your button?
Here's you want to push my button?
I think I could guess.
What?
But go ahead.
No, try to
You want
guess.
to guess?
Yeah.
I'm guessing arrogance is a button pusher. Somebody who talks down to you.
Nah, just ignore them.
Oh, okay.
But here's what pushes my button. When I tell somebody that they need to do something, and number one, they think I'm lying,
Oh no.
or number two, I did it, and then they say I didn't. Now that right there will drive me insane.
I'm with you on that. Yeah.
I had a man come in there telling me I did not put brakes on his car. And I told him I did because I did them myself. No, I don't believe anybody did it. That wasn't a good day for him, nor was it a good day for me.
Oh my God.
It wasn't a good day for either one of
Yeah?
us.
What happened? You got mad?
I got mad? No, I didn't get mad. I went nuts. I went nuts. And I took that car apart, and I
Yeah.
showed him his new brakes.
Yeah.
And to this day, that man will not come in my shop ever again.
Well, because you don't want him there?
No,
because,
he'll never. I don't.
Because you got so mad he's afraid of you now.
No. I just, to me, I'm not gonna lie to you, and just to be called a liar, that just rubs
No, I'm
me, that
with
just
you.
rubs
I'm
me
with
the wrong way.
Hey, the one thing I love about the fact that you do radio is that you nip in the bud, I'll put it that way, the preconceived notion that mechanics have been known to,
Be a thief.
be a thief. Yeah. And so you have that over your shoulder that you have to battle with all the time. And doing the radio show, at least for these listeners, they already know that that's not going to ever be you.
Right, and some. Well, I don't know if they know it. They hear it, but in order
Yeah,
to know it,
they
you
know
got to
it.
get to know me. You know what I'm saying?
Right, which is why I think it's important to sometimes talk about things other than cars.
Right.
I think that's part of it. I mean,
Absolutely.
Last week you had your other son in here.
Right.
I don't think I ever met Eric before.
Right.
And he's in shape, huh?
Yeah.
Oh man, I was thinking about that all week long. I gotta stop eating so much.
Well, I figured out how to do it.
How?
My wife says, okay, from now on, you don't eat anything unless I give it to you. So
And?
she makes my portion.
Is that working?
Yes, it is.
When did you start this?
Last week.
Like after Eric was here?
Yeah. Yeah. No, but she started. She's done it, and she's done really well. And she's hitting her goals and stuff. And so,
Oh, she's in good shape.
yeah. And then Joey went and got her a bicycle. So Joey's home now.
Oh,
so
no.
Joey's out training, and,
Oh, no.
and my wife's out there training with
Oh
him.
no! And you?
Yeah, no. I got a hurt knee.
I see that. Yeah.
So my right now I'm starting with eating proportional. You can so my wife makes
All
me a
right.
plate.
So let me learn from you or from your wife through you.
Okay.
What was for dinner last night?
What was some whole grain rice? Just just a little bit.
Oh yeah.
I mean enough.
Yeah.
So she made some beef tips.
Yeah.
With some onions and some peppers. She kind of sauteed them, and broccoli.
Yeah.
And I just put it all together.
Yeah. Okay. So you had one plate of food?
Yeah.
Done?
Yeah. And then afterwards, I had an apple and some grapes.
Now, what would you have had a week earlier?
I would have had a bigger plate of everything that I just mentioned, and then another probably some more.
A little. What?
I would have had some more.
Oh, something else.
No, just some more of the same stuff. Just after I ate that plate, I go in there.
I thought you meant. I didn't know if you meant s'mores, like the chocolate thing.
Yeah, I could have had some of those. Yeah. But those are not allowed in my house anymore.
So then we can't do mechanics and cars getting grits because that would ruin everything.
Well, she would let me do grits. I
Really?
just can't have a bucket of grits.
Okay.
I could have a bowl of grits.
Oh my God!
Right, proportion. Right, she's moderation, brother, moderation.
Hey, by the way,
Yes.
speaking of that show, comedians in cars getting coffee. The last one I saw, he was in a vehicle called The Thing. Have you ever seen?
Yeah.
What is The Thing?
It's just my when I was going to I graduated from Forest High School, and our printing teacher had a thing.
He drove The Thing.
Yeah.
Is that a Volkswagen?
I think it's a Volkswagen. Yeah.
Okay.
It's actually pretty cool looking, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean it looked fun. I don't know why.
Yeah, it looked
some
like
cars-
something you drive out in the woods or something.
right. And it had. Oh gosh, I think it had a cable on the front, like so you could pull yourself out of the mud if you needed.
Yeah,
to.
or it had a winch on it or something.
Winch, that's it, yeah.
Yeah, I could see whether you could put one. It's actually yeah, that would be a fun vehicle.
If you have a question about your car, we're asking that you call in because right now I'm going to ask about Matt's knee, but you can interrupt us and ask about your car.
Why do you want to talk about my knee?
Because we haven't gone there yet.
Oh.
And it's the elephant in the room.
Yeah, it's not really in the room.
What do you mean it's not in the room?
You can't even see it. It's underneath the table.
I can see it.
But you want me to embarrass myself on
Did
with
you
all
do
15
something
listeners.
embarrassing?
Yeah, I was getting out of a car and fell.
How long ago?
It was Thursday, last Thursday.
Thursday. And Eric was here Tuesday. And you started your diet when?
Well, actually, I pretty much started when my wife got home from Tennessee. That's when she started preparing my meals. Thank you, honey, for preparing my meals.
What's for lunch today?
Chicken sandwich.
She made it?
She gave me the chicken, the bread, and the chicken and the meat because I keep it at work.
Oh my gosh! Have you ever gone hunting?
I've been hunting, yes.
You don't like it though?
No, I don't. I love being out in the woods.
Yeah.
I'm just not a.
You don't want to kill another thing.
You know,
I know. I'm with you. I don't like killing.
I'm not really. I don't mind. You know, I don't
Really?
mind the guys that go out hunting.
Oh, I don't mind them, but I don't want to be them.
I had an opportunity to go hunting. I was with a bunch of police officers. I was a kid at the time.
Yeah.
And I knew what they were. We went to this place, that their hunt camp, and they told me to go down this road, and I
Right.
knew what they were doing. They were trying to make me stir the deer up and run them to them.
Right.
So I actually went back to the campsite and sat on the back of a truck, and I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden this little deer come out of the woods, and he looked at me.
Oh no! Oh no!
So these hunters
You
are
can't
all
do
up in the
that.
tree. They're all the animals are hanging out at the campsite, while they're up in the trees and stuff.
Oh, because they knew you were safe.
So so I had an opportunity, but I just didn't want to shoot him. He was just a little guy and had little spikes, and I'd rather go fishing. I'd much rather go fishing.
Have you heard the Marion County deputy that was behind a car going 1 mile an hour?
No.
Here it is. Let me play the soundbite for you. Ready?
Yeah.
All right. This is the deputy.
The nerve of this guy.
Wait, I mean,
Literally going 1 mile per hour in a 30 mile per hour zone. I mean, guy's easily 100. You shouldn't be out on the roadways to begin with.
did you hear it?
Yeah.
He's going 1 mile an hour.
Huh.
Let me play it again.
Did he get a ticket for going too?
No, let me give you the punchline. He was following a tortoise, one of those what do they call him? A gopher
gopher tortoise?
Yeah, listen.
The nerve of this guy. He's literally going 1 mile per hour in a 30 mile per hour zone. I mean, guy's easily 100. You shouldn't be out on the roadways to begin with.
It's kind of funny, huh? So that's a viral video right now. A Marion County deputy following a tortoise. And then he gets out and gets the tortoise off the road so it won't get killed.
Oh, man, so did he have it on? So he must have videoed
He
it.
videotaped it, yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. All right, where's your song? Here we go. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, go.
Auto repair with personal care.
All right, how do we get a hold of you? What's your number?
You can call me at 352-690-1993.
Call Matt and don't ever question him. If he tells you he did something, he did it. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Larry.
We'll treat you right.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Here is your 1-minute news brief from The Source, WOCA. A 21-year-old pregnant woman was killed and 2 children were wounded in a shooting yesterday in the Pine Hills neighborhood of Orange County.